Hello, I'm Jennifer Forkish, Public Information Director for the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in West Valley Division in the city of Los Angeles. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case, so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We are still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution: the images and information you are about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
Hello, I am Captain Alex Chogyoji, Commanding Officer of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. I am going to provide you with a brief overview of an officer-involved shooting that occurred on April 20th, 2025 at around 6:20 p.m. West Valley area officers responded to a radio call for a 415 man with a gun at an apartment complex in the 6400 block of Reseda Boulevard. The caller reported that the suspect was trespassing inside the apartment complex and shouting obscenities while armed with a handgun. The suspect was described as a male Armenian wearing a purple shirt and black pants, carrying a silver revolver handgun. Here is the 911 call and corresponding radio broadcast.
959,
Hello?
911, do you need police or paramedics?
No, I just went out of police department.
Okay. What's the emergency?
Yes.
What's your emergency?
The emergency is like I'm leaving at 6:40 Reseda, and I see a guy with a gun.
On the street?
In the building, inside the building. He's screaming.
Is he white, black, Asian, Hispanic?
He's Armenian.
What color shirt or sweater?
Sure. Hold on. Black pants. Sure. It's kind of like a purple with the numbers in the back.
And where does he have the gun right now?
Huh?
Where does he have the gun?
In the hand. In his hand.
What color is it?
It's like a revolver. It's kind of like right, and he's screaming around the building.
Is he threatening anybody or trying to find somebody right now? Do you know?
He told me because I'm the property manager in here. He told me like go inside.
Okay. Do you know what unit he lives in?
No, he doesn't live here.
Okay. We'll send some help right now. Your name and phone number, please.
My name is.
Okay. Help will be there shortly. Call us back in case anything else changes. What's that unit? 415 man with a gun, 64 Reseda Boulevard. Suspect is a male Armenian wearing a purple shirt, black pants, carrying a silver revolver handgun. Code 2 incident 3012 RD 1033.
The suspect was later identified as Yervan Sarobian. A portion of this incident was captured on security footage from a nearby security camera. Prior to West Valley units arriving, an air unit arrived overhead and located Serobian, armed with a handgun, in the parking lot of the apartment complex.
Area 18 has eyes on the suspect on the north side of the complex, walking towards Reseda.
He's pointing it at us now.
Hey, can you show us back for my current location?
Alright, he's shooting in our direction. We're gonna get a little altitude here. Let's make this a house call.
All units, officer needs help 642 Reseda Boulevard. Officer needs help 642 Reseda Boulevard.
Serobian pointed and fired the handgun at the air unit, which prompted officers in the air unit to request help. The tactical flight officer directed Serobian via the public address system to drop the handgun. However, Serobian did not comply. Upon the arrival of responding units, a community member, along with the air unit, directed them to Serobian, who was still armed with a handgun and still located in the parking lot. A portion of this incident was captured on the responding officer's body-worn video. Body-worn video cameras are used by most officers assigned to field duties. They are worn at chest level and capture a general perspective within the line of sight from that angle. The angle of the camera prohibits viewers from seeing everything the officer saw and experienced. Upon activation, both audio and video will turn on. However, body-worn video cameras have a buffer of video without audio from the previous 2 minutes prior to activation. This feature is designed to capture incidents that occur suddenly, where an officer doesn't immediately activate the camera. Here is body-worn video from the officers involved in this incident.
Let us handle business. Get back here.
Currently, nobody walking around inside. We've told them to lock it down several times.
Yes.
I do have
All right, shield only, taser, DCO, arrest team. I got 40. Sarge, you got comms. Got it. Clear. Just a resident. Sir, get back. Go in your resident. Go inside. Go inside. White shirt. Watch left. It's open left. Clear. It's white left.
Okay, okay, just your north. Just on your left. It's going to be meeting right up against it. You guys have the gun in his hand.
He's right here.
Back up and call out. Back up and call out.
Suspect is strong within the inside.
The officers made contact with Serobian and began issuing verbal commands to have him drop the handgun. However, Serobian did not comply. The officers also warned Serobian that his continued noncompliance would result in the use of less lethal force, which would cause bodily injury. Moments later, an officer discharged a 40mm less lethal launcher foam projectile round at Serobian. The foam projectile round struck Serobian, who then pointed and fired his handgun at the officers, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. The 40mm less lethal launcher device fires a foam projectile round. The round strikes the person's body and is intended to cause pain. While there may be bruising, it is designed to distribute energy over a broad surface area and not penetrate the body. The primary target for this less lethal device is the navel or belt line.
Is there anybody else on that gate? He's right here. Hey! Drop the gun!
Drop the gun right now!
Tell him he's gonna get shot if he doesn't drop the gun.
You're gonna be shot if you do not drop the gun! Drop it right now! This is Los Angeles Police Department!
Give him the 40 warning.
Yeah, 40 warning. If you do not drop the gun, we may use less lethal, and it may hurt and cause serious bodily injury.
Tarasoff, move your head. Move your head. I'm going to take a 40 shot. Yep.
Drop it!
Okay, if you're
Good.
gonna approach it, then back.
Ready? Go. 40 up. 40 only.
Drop the gun! Shots fired! Shots fired! Officer needs help!
Is there anybody else on that gate?
It's right here. Right here. Hey! Drop the gun! Drop the gun right now!
Tell him he's going to get shot because he dropped the gun.
You're gonna be shot if you do not drop the gun! Drop it right now! This is Los Angeles Police Department!
233 making contact with the suspect.
If you do not drop the gun, we may use less lethal, and it may hurt and cause serious bodily injury. Yeah, I got it. Drop it!
Okay, if you're gonna approach it, then back. Watch your front. 40.
Drop the gun! Drop! Shots fired! Shots fired! Officer needs help!
Serobian was struck by gunfire, dropped the handgun, and fell to the ground. The officers continued giving Serobian verbal commands to show his hands as he had fallen in close proximity to the handgun. However, he continued to move toward the handgun. As a result, an officer discharged an additional 40mm less lethal launcher foam projectile round at Serobian.
Do not move! Let me see your hands!
Where's the gun?
Let me see your hands! Put your hands up right now!
You hit him with the 40 again. He's moving. He's moving his arm. Heads up. 40 up. 40 only.
Drop the gun! Let me see your hands!
Shortly thereafter, Serobian was taken into custody without further incident. Here is additional body-worn video from one of the officers involved in the incident. The officers rendered medical aid to Serobian by applying direct pressure to his wounds and performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, until paramedics arrived. Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics responded and took over rendering medical aid to Serobian. However, despite life-saving efforts by the officers and paramedics, Serobian was pronounced deceased a short time later. Investigators recovered a Smith & Wesson 6-cylinder revolver with 6 fired cartridge casings inside the cylinder at the scene and booked them as evidence. Investigators discovered multiple bullet impacts on a wall adjacent to where the officers had been positioned during the officer-involved shooting. These bullet impacts were determined to have come from the rounds fired from Serobian's handgun. Yervan Serobian was a 40-year-old resident of Glendale.
In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is complete, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. The board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance complied with LAPD policy and met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. Additionally, the Office of the Inspector General will conduct a parallel and independent review of the investigation and will provide its recommendations to the board. If you would like to know more information on how the LAPD investigates all serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can find the LAPD's use of force policy and procedures. Thank you for taking the time to view this critical incident community briefing.